Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a Scaramouche Successor by me. So let's get into it. 2 weeks into your marriage, and you already regret many things that you've done. Perhaps the choice to marry him at all. Look, you loved him. You really did. But sometimes it felt like this was done in a hurry. Maybe a little bit too quick. Maybe the two of you were too excited to see things thoroughly as you should have. But the truth is, the two of you were never meant to marry that fast. It just wasn't going to work out. And had you been clear in what you were going to do and looked at it, instead of feeling like excited teenagers who wanted to elope, then maybe you would have seen it. Alas, it was too late now, and you have tied the knot, and the two of you were together. In sickness and in health, for better and for worse. That's what you thought. And originally, it's what Scaramouche used to think as well. But your arguments and your mishaps were getting just more common with each passing day. And you knew that you couldn't keep going on with this way. That either you would be able to talk things out, or you would have to break things off. And maybe you will never be able to be together again, in any sense of it, married or not. And you really hoped it would not be the latter, because you loved him. Though he hurt your heart many times, and though he made you cry many, many days. But you were sure that you have hurt him as well. You were no saint, and neither was he. What you didn't know, though, that today, maybe the day that you had to make that call, or whether or not you wanted to stay. Scaramouche was supposed to meet you at a place, for a date, but lately he's been caught up in his own business and doing many things. And he would have to be a liar if he said that it was not hurting you, how he paid almost no attention to you or your needs. You felt like you were being neglected, for a lack of better words. And it's like he almost didn't notice, or maybe he didn't even care. He kept you waiting on him for 2 hours until he finally charmed you with his presence. You wore a smile on your face, a very better one that was barely masking any of the anger that you had. It was not even masking anything at that point, because all the rage was visible in your eyes, and Scaramouche saw it clearly. Lion, I had some things to deal with. I couldn't be here. How many times are you going to let me hear this, Skira? This is like the 10th time that I've heard you say this to me. In 2 months, isn't it a little bit much? I mean, I'm patient. I try to be. But you make it difficult. It's almost like all my effort is worthless. Oh, what I'm doing with you. You aren't doing anything with me. You knew it would be like this. You knew I wasn't good at this. You said you would understand. He says, scowling. And you've always known how he had a very bad temper. And it seemed like he was not having it today. But, unluckily, you weren't either. Scaramouche, I am sick. I have had it with you. Every single time. And you know what? This may be the last. Because I'm not supposed to be an angel. I'm not supposed to put up with your mistakes one after one when you do nothing to make up for them. I do nothing? Is that what you're saying? Yes, Scara. When have you ever cared for me? Looked at what I wanted. Looked at what I needed. All you ever care about is your revenge and Dattore. And before you know it, he's getting back up, slamming his hands on the table. You know what, Mayan? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're not meant to be. Maybe I am an evil bastard and you're the beautiful saint who is always waiting for me, always trying to make things work. And I'm too horrible to be with a lover. But you know what? I tried, and you don't seem to appreciate it. You don't understand who I am. It's almost like you don't love me the way I am anyway. You just like the version that you made up in your mind, and you want to mold me into it. I hate it. I hate you, and the way you behave sometimes. He yells out, drawing all eyes on you. And somewhere, you hear your heart breaking, deep inside you, behind the strong front that you put up. But it wasn't like you were going to back down. It was too late to do so. You were saying this, and if you were going to end it, then you may as well be honest. No point in suffering quietly when it's airing out all your dirty laundry for everyone to see. You know what, Scaramouche? You're right. We're not meant to be. You were just in a hurry, too excited for someone to convince you that you have a heart. You just wanted to feel like you were someone that you could love. But you are what you say you are. You're a puppet. Someone who's so heartless and only focused on his own goals. I was wrong to think you would understand what it feels like to love someone and care for them. It was too much to ask of you. He spat out and stormed off. But in his eyes, the last look you could see, it was hurt, heartbreak, and confusion. The confusion's been there for a while. Whenever he looked at you and didn't know what to do, whenever he felt guilty. And as soon as you're away from the restaurant, you're crying your eyes out. Because most of those words were words that came out of your anger, not your own heart or mind. You didn't mean any of them. Maybe some of them. About how you always made you wait on him, made you do too much. But it was worth it. Because you loved him. And though you were angry, it should never got so far. But you know after what you've done, there was no going back. But it wasn't like he didn't hurt you as well. After all, he said he hated you. At least right now, you gave him a real reason to. It turns out in the end, those wedding vows were all a lie. It was not till death do you part, as the two of you have imagined. It happened far earlier. But it was kind of true as well, as a piece of your heart had died. Somewhere during that argument of yours, and when you left him behind in that restaurant. And Scaramouche, well, he might as well be convinced that he has nothing at all.